And now stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, how y'all doing out there today? So today, Big Apple's not here. He's in the chat, you see. He has some other things going on. But we do have a special guest with us today. Let me go ahead and bring him up. It's going to be Mr. Jeff Davis.
Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Jeff. How you doing today?
Doing great. And you?
I'm doing great. So, take a moment here and see who all we got in the chat. We got George Campbell.
Hey, George.
Barry. Of course, the Big Apple himself. Let's see here. William E. Crazy for Mopar. And hold on one moment.
Hey, William. Barry, crazy. Good to see you guys. Big Apple, always good to see you.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. All right, sorry about that. I had to yell at the boy to come get the dog. Let's see here. We got Crazy from Mopar. There's a William, Big Apple.
Mike Pepsi.
Mike Pepsi, how you doing today, sir? Of course, we got Lola in there, joining Jeff. All right, so before we get too far into it, I want to apologize for the winners of last week's call with the hurricane and all. I did not get yours out. I will be getting them out today or tomorrow, now that the storm has passed. So if you want to call last week, I will be getting that out for you today. And I do apologize for the delay. But I was just too busy getting ready for a hurricane. But let's see here. So let's look at what you got today. But how are you doing, Jeff? What's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. You mentioned the hurricane. We had the remnants pass through our area last night and most of yesterday. Got a lot of rain, but tornado warnings, but no tornadoes in our area. So we made out pretty good with that.
Yeah, I think we did well. It shifted a little bit. It was supposed to go right over top of us as a tropical storm. But it shifted and went northwest of us. So we were on the tornado side of it. There was a lot of tornado warnings and that. I don't think there were too many damaging tornadoes in the area. I mean, I think there were some water spouts that they saw out at the ocean. But everything else went through pretty good. The bad thing is it was moving so slow. You know, I'm used to these hurricanes coming through and tearing through, you know, in 12 hours or so. This thing, you know, we started feeling the effects of it on Saturday. And, you know, it was past us, but we were still feeling the bands of it on Wednesday. So,
That's a long time.
Yeah, and we got a lot of rain, and thankfully it wasn't like pouring down rain, but it was a good steady rain. So, you know, whatever it is, but thank God it wasn't a destructive one.
Right. We been going through a drought in our area that it's been so dry. We haven't mowed the lawn since before the 4th of July.
Oh,
And with this slow moving storm, it dumped a lot of rain on us. But like you said, there wasn't any real gully washers, just a steady rain. So it really helped us out.
yeah, that's the good kind.
Yep.
You know, you get that drenching and it gets time to soak the ground. It's not really running off. There was flooding down here, of course, and you know, and the St. Johns River flows north. So anything rivers down south to get flooded flow north up through the St. Johns, and that gets pushed up with the storm. So I mean, Jacksonville had some minor flooding, not like we normally do with like a cat, you know, cat 2 or cat 1 or above. But we still got our good part of it. But you know, we've been dodging a bullet this past couple of years. We're due for a storm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's nothing like that one, and I can't even remember how to pronounce his name. That came up and split the spline of Florida. Came up right up the middle.
Wow.
And that did some heavy devastation. That was back in like 2016, 2017, I think. But, so, let's take a look at your stuff first. What I'm going to do is I'll do my PMG unboxing. I have not opened it yet. I've split the bottom to make it easier to pull out. So whatever grades I got is going to be a surprise to me live here. We'll figure it out, and you know, you may see me happy, you may see me about ready to cry. You know, it's always a roll of the dice, but whatever it is, it is. So.
Well, you gotta take the bad with the good.
Yes, sir. All right, so let me bring you up and make you open the screen here. Let's talk about this here.
Well, again, you and Big Apple and Dan from Polar Currency have been a big influence on me. And like I've said before, I'm very new to currency collecting, and I'm learning every day. But I absolutely love history. And when you showed some of your colonial era currency, I just had to have some. And I picked up this. It's a 15 grade, which doesn't bother me. It's the fact that it's survived for over 200 years, and our founding fathers could have actually spent this. That means a ton to me. And this is a 1/6 of a dollar. And the interesting part I found out about it, and I'm, again, not very knowledgeable about this, but on the face of the note, you have that sundial, and it says, mind your business. underneath it. And then on the reverse, it's got
Yes.
the 13 colonies all linked together, showing unity, basically, is my understanding.
Yes. And
And
that's actually one of the designs that I am dying to get.
well, I lucked out in getting this one, but I also found it fascinating that it's the same design that's on the Fujio cent, which of course Ben Franklin uh, minted, I guess you'd say, and was really one of my understanding, was one of the first pieces of coinage minted prior to the United States becoming the United States. And this was printed by Hall and Sellers in Philadelphia in 1776. And Ben Franklin started the printing business that became Hall and Sellers. I think it was Sellers that was a partner, and then when Ben wanted out, he sold his interest to Hall, and they formed a partnership. Now, that's my understanding, and I definitely could be corrected on that, but I just find that extremely fascinating. And just to own a piece of history like that, to me, is amazing.
Yes, I mean, it truly is. Now, if you come up on that sundial, if you can, if you see how in the upper left-hand corner that has that dot.
Yes?
Okay, so that, I believe, is like 1/6 of a dollar. And then if you move the dot over, it's the next increment. Then you move the dot down, it's the next increment. And if you move it over, it's the next increment. So they break it down into, and that's another like anti-counterfeiting thing that they had. But how it's in the upper left-hand corner, and then if it would be in the upper right-hand corner, it would be the next denomination. Like, that's what, 1/6, is it?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe like the next one will be like 1/3. And then you come down, and it'd be like 2/3, and then you go over. It'd be the next increment.
Wow.
And I've forgotten what the increments were, but I'm sure it can be easily found.
That is so cool. We think of the people 250 years ago not having the level of education that we have today, but really, in a lot of ways, they had a much broader education than what we have today.
Yes. And you look at Ben Franklin and our founding fathers, they all pretty much probably had, at the most, the equivalent to today's associates.
Uh-huh.
But they were brilliant men, they were educated men for their time. And, they're the ones that laid the foundations down for things.
Right. And it's all still relevant today. Their wisdom at the time is really amazing.
Oh, most definitely.
I have another piece of colonial era currency, and this one is in much worse condition. But it's 9 pence, and from 1775, issued by Pennsylvania. And
what year was that?
1775.
Okay.
It's pretty rough.
Oh yeah, but that's, you're
But
not going to
again,
find too many that's not.
Yeah, Hall and Sellers was the printer in Philadelphia. And I found this one at a coin show and thought it was reasonably priced. The guy had $80 marked on it and gave me a little discount and figured I better own it.
Oh yeah, that's a good deal because I mean even poor condition notes from that period are worth a lot.
Now this is one that Lola and I have some notes we're going to send in for grading. And this is one I'm going to send in, if nothing more than to preserve it. The fact that it's lasted almost 250 years and was being spent, not necessarily saved, it just blows me away.
Oh yeah, I mean that note's changed several hands.
Yeah. And you think our founding fathers could have used these notes to buy maybe lunch after getting together or dinner or whatever. Fascinating. That's the extent of my colonial period stuff. Although I am going to expand on that. That's a rabbit hole I definitely want to go down. Another piece I have that Big Apple has showed, and I believe you have too, is the Martha Washington note.
Yes.
And mine's obviously raw. It's not in great condition. But I think Martha Washington, the fact that she was the only woman put on U.S. currency, but I think she was a pretty amazing woman in her day. She was a woman of means, and my understanding, and I'd really like to learn more about her, but when George passed, she ran the plantation that they had, or farm, whatever you'd want to call it. And to do that, she'd have had to have been a fairly well-educated woman.
No, most definitely, and I mean, it was a time when women weren't really taken seriously.
Right. I think that's a very diplomatic way to say it, but I'm at some point probably will upgrade this, but just the fact to have it, I'm very, very pleased to have that. I've kind of gotten into the obsoletes, and one of the first ones I got years ago, having no clue whatsoever as to what I was buying other than old currency, was this $3 bill from North Carolina. And I remember people through the years saying phony as a $3 bill. Well, there's one that wasn't phony. And I know you have several in your collection, I believe.
Yeah, I have a few different ones. In fact, I think I might have that exact one there too in my collection. It's a good note, beautiful note. The vignette, or if I'm saying that right, I always say it wrong. On it, it's a Roman goddess. On the if you look, the one on the right, not the one's Columbia, that's representing, the South, and the other one is a Roman goddess who was like a goddess of harvest. and something along that lines, because the South during that's actually after the secession, I believe,
Yeah, I think it's
1863.
1863.
So that is the Confederate states had both Confederate notes that were government level and then state notes, and they all had their meaning to them. And the South was more for agriculture, and the North was
Right.
industrial. So that's why they had her. She was like the goddess of agricultural stuff for the Greeks.
I think it's so fascinating when someone with your knowledge on these bills tells us stories like that, because I had no clue. This is one remainder note, which I had no clue up until a couple of weeks ago what a remainder note even was. But I like this because it has the green ink on it.
Oh yeah, the green overprint's beautiful on that.
Yeah. And I, up until a couple of weeks ago, had no clue, what that was all about. And the bleed through on the back, I just found that to be, I have no connection whatsoever to the state of Connecticut, but thought that was just a really cool note, and the condition to me is amazing. And I got
thank you, William. It looks like you two, and I didn't tell him to turn it on yet, but it looks like William E. just bought a $3 super sticker. Thank you.
Thanks,
I didn't think I
William.
had it turned on. But I guess YouTube went ahead and turned it on in the process. Awesome.
Great. Here's a Virginia Treasury note. And again, I really didn't know a whole lot about it, but I immediately was drawn to it because of the red overprint on it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like I've said in past, you see how the ink looks brown. That's because they use what they call iron gall ink. And being iron in there, it oxidized.
I think you might have said, Rob, that one of the telltale signs of it not being a fugazi is the bleed through of that ink.
Yes.
And you can see there on that one the bleed through. But again, my interest in that was initially because of the red ink on it.
Oh, that's a beautiful note too.
Thank you. And I've always kind of been a train buff all my life. And I stumbled across this obsolete, again, not knowing what I was doing, but to have a train on the Bank of Chattanooga, the only thing I could think of was the Chattanooga Choo Choo. And my collecting across the board is very eclectic. That someone said years ago, collect what you like. Well, I like trains, so I collected that one.
Yeah. I mean, I like to say I have the ADD of collecting. Whatever catches my eye.
That's exactly where I'm at. I thought this was a neat note, again, with the red, but I'm kind of drawn to $2 notes, and I'm not sure why, but this one's in kind of rough shape, but it's very thin. It's almost like it's on a tissue paper consistency.
Exactly. And most of your and for those of you who haven't handled it, most of your obsolete currency is pretty much like it's printed on rice paper. Um, it's very thin paper. It's very easily damaged, and it's amazing that these things have lasted throughout the years.
Oh, and the artwork is, to me, one of the most amazing things. To think a guy had to hand engrave that and do it backwards in order for it to print frontwards. Just amazes me. This note, I think everybody here is familiar with Aunt Marching, and Aunt lives in the southern part of South Carolina, just north of Augusta, Georgia. And I stumbled onto this, the Bank of Hamburg, and Hamburg was a town on the banks of the river there that was kind of a shipping, I guess you'd say, and heavy black population. The town is no more. It's a ghost town. It's gone. But I've gotten to know Aunt Marching, and I really like him, and I stumbled onto this, and I thought, man, that's cool. I ought to have that. And again, it's got the red, almost an orangey color, but I think that's because it's faded. And here's a real rough one, but again, this was one of the first pieces of obsolete currency I bought probably 40 years ago. Again, not knowing what I was doing, but attracted by the red 5 on it.
That is nice. You seem to be building up your collection pretty good.
Well, when I get interested in something, I tend to almost go overboard on some of it. But
That's a nice note.
Yeah, where I live in West Virginia, my mailing address is Paw Paw, West Virginia, but I'm actually, the closest city to me is Winchester, Virginia. And of course, this is out of Richmond, but the green ink and our proximity to Virginia kind of drew me to that note, but mostly the green ink. And you can see the bleed through on the back with the signatures.
Yeah, now you can get to the point where that bleed through because of the rust becomes what they call burn, where it burns, ink burn, where it actually burns through the paper. But that to me just screams it's legitimate. At least the ink's been aged and that iron's rusted.
Yeah, I think all of this stuff is just truly fascinating. I had to have a note from Louisiana, and this is a remainder note. And I'm a big fan of Ben Franklin, so the fact that Ben was on this attracted me to it.
So the Canal and Banking Company, they're the ones that built like the canals down in Louisiana, down in New Orleans, down Canal Street.
Okay.
But they rose that bank to make funds to start making those canals. But that was pretty cool. And I think they're the ones that eventually, instead of Canal Banking Company, eventually just became the Canal Bank.
Really?
Yeah.
And here's another one I really was attracted to because of the red ink on it, the red overprint. But I thought the name was neat, Miners and Planters Bank.
Yes, it is. Because you had the coal miners and the agricultural.
Yeah. So that's kind of the extent of my obsoletes, Rob.
Okay.
I have no obsoletes that are graded. My graded note collection is rather lacking.
You'll
And
build it up.
oh yeah, and I've got to say this, Rob, and this is kind of a plug to you. I mentioned that Lola's getting into the currency also, and when she saw your video on the baby bond, she looked at me and she says, "Man, I got to have one of those." She was just absolutely taken with it, and there's her baby bond that she purchased.
And so Aaron Burke, he kind of like stole the plates to those and printed off all kinds of counterfeit ones, but they all had like the same serial number or whatever. But he printed all them up, and then after embezzling all that money, or stealing all that money straight out, I should say, he fled to like South America.
Huh. I knew there was some story about stolen plates and made a bunch of counterfeits of these. I have no clue if this is a counterfeit or a real. It looks real to me.
The real plates, he printed them with the real plates, so I think there's somewhere out there you can get the serial numbers that are known to be the ones that he printed. But
then
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss without giving Big Apple a plug here. That again, this is my wife's Federal Reserve bank note, graded obviously, that she actually purchased from Big Apple. But we both want to thank you and Big Apple for taking the time and the effort to put these videos out that really shows people maybe not necessarily interested in currency how vast the potential is for collecting this. It's truly amazing.
Yes, sir. I mean, that is, I appreciate you saying that, but it's just fun. I enjoy doing it.
Oh, it's absolutely amazing. Then kind of my pride and joy. And at this one, this is going to be the last one I show, Rob, because I want to see your box opening. But the National Bank note. And again, until I got into the hobby and paying attention to you guys, doing some research and learning about this, I was impressed with your graded notes from Pottsville, your hometown.
Yeah, Pottstown. There were two brothers. I'm not from the Homo Yingling.
Okay.
But Pottstown. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to get some more. But being a small bank, a small town, the banks that were there didn't print enormous amounts of money like they would do in New York.
Right.
So it's a little more of a trek to get them.
Now, that's my story exactly with this note. Uh, the Grange National Bank of Spartansburg, Pennsylvania. Lola and I lived in Spartansburg prior to moving to West Virginia. Spartansburg is a town with a population of about 300 people.
Something
And
that Hee-Haw would say, salute.
that's right. We could have been on Hee Haw any day. But uh, when my father passed, uh, my sister's brother and I, we were going through the safety deposit box, and in there, my dad had this note, uh, which, thanks to Big Apple, we got it graded and preserved. But just to have that from your hometown, I actually grew up in a town called Corey, Pennsylvania, which is about 12 miles from Spartansburg. And just to have that with the local connection is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I think yours
I
is
like
neat.
to think about maybe one of my relatives could have handled the note, you know.
Exactly. Exactly. So,
All right, so that's a beautiful collection you're building there, Jeff.
well, thank you, Rob. I'm excited to get more and more excited to learn more about all the currency that's available and look forward to every one of the streams that you guys put out.
You know, we look forward to doing more. So I got my stuff back from PMG. I have not. I just took it out of the package. I have not looked at any of it. I have no grades on. No idea what the grades are. So, you know, you're gonna see me either be happy or cry or, you know, whatever. um, but let me go ahead and get this going.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Okay, so take my personal information here away. Okay, so this is that Martha. It's got a 30, but it's got a net. I knew it was going to get a. I'm surprised it got a 30, but I knew it was going to get a net because I knew it had some extensive repairs on the back.
Boy, that's beautiful, Rob.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful note, but like I said, you can see it had some repairs. It says corners added. Now I'm seeing now up there after you really look. I thought that was a repair, but I don't think they added some other corner to it. But hey. But all in all, I'm happy with it. You know, repairs or not, I knew it was repaired. I'm like I said, I'm surprised it got a 30. I was actually expecting a lower grade. So I'll be happy accepting that.
Boy, that's got great eye appeal too.
Yeah, it is a beautiful note. It's off on the, you know, at this point here, it doesn't really matter until you get up into, you know, the 60s, but the centering of the note. But I guess that's where the repair was as well. The corner at it, they said. But all in all, it's a beautiful note.
Absolutely.
And here's that note I picked up at the coin show. The $20 gold certificate. 25. I'm happy with it, I guess. I thought it'd be a little bit better, but it got that micro tear that's been repaired.
And again, that's got great eye appeal.
Yeah, I love the gold certificates, you know, but to think at one point in time, you know, this could have been like an ounce of gold in your hand, because at the time gold was about $20 an ounce. Just to be able to go back, huh?
Oh, man.
Okay, so this is a gutter fold error I sent in. Pretty cool. I got an EPQ too.
Wow.
For the exceptional paper quality. Now this happens when there's the printing press. The paper gets bunched up in, and it creases it. So then you got the what they call a gutter fold error. And if you see real close, you can see the crease from where the paper was folded. Yes. So what happened was it must have happened on the second press, because the back's done on the first press and there's no gutter fold on there.
I see we have Can joined us. Good to see you, Can.
Yes, good to see you, sir. Let's see here. Would your coins is here. Let's see here. Big Apple's here. I'm just seeing who I missed all this time, and I'm sorry if I missed you.
Steve LaPointe, he's here. Hello, Steve.
Dorica's here. Yeah, we got a good amount of people here today.
Yes.
And I am disappointed already because I do see I have some body bags.
Uh-oh.
And I'm about ready to cry, but we'll take a look at them. That 100 came back pretty good. 25, I'll be happy with it. And I knew this one had micro tears.
Now that looks to me like a better than a 25.
Yeah, but it's got micro tears on it. You know, I don't know if that's affecting it or not. Hey, you know what? I'm happy with it.
That's nice.
Now this is a misaligned print, plus it was a courtesy signature. So whoever had this bill, they actually got to meet the Treasurer of the United States, and they had this error bill with them, and they had them sign it, and I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like courtesy signatures. I think they're pretty cool. You know, some people are like, it's graffiti. They're writing on the bill, ruining the bill. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I love how that's misaligned cut.
It's amazing that got out into circulation, really.
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't have a big red pen mark across it and, you know, removed from the BEP. But I mean, if you look, even the serial numbers are misaligned for the third print. So, Yeah, the misaligned cut and the misaligned third print. And then on the back it's not as misaligned, but you can definitely see it. Yeah, I love error notes too. I mean, they got me. Okay, so here's my first body bag back. I kind of figured this. I was questioning this one. This has been altered. Altered note. You know, there are what they call inking errors for the third print. That it could be missing the district numbers and the black seal. So I rolled the dice. I got this for free, basically. So I'm not crying over that one too much, but the one I'm crying over is the one I'm going to pull up now, and I don't. And I knew it wasn't in great condition, but I thought it would be at least gradable. Is this one here?
Ooh, buffalo, bison.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is not suitable for certification. So, I mean, I knew it wasn't in great condition. It had splits. But it says it's not suitable for grading. So, you know what? Still worth something to me.
I don't understand that at all.
You know, I guess it's. I thought it would be like a 6 or an 8. Obviously, it's not. Maybe the grader didn't get laid the night before. I don't know. That could explain the low grade on the gold certificate too, huh? Or
Yeah.
100. But yeah. So, but it is what it is. You know, it's still a beautiful note to me. Yeah, thank you. It's still super cool. But
I don't get that at all.
yeah, so I mean, you got Lewis and Clark there in the Buffalo. You know, and like I said, I knew it wasn't going to get a great grade. I thought it was going to get like maybe like a 6 or an 8. But it says it's not suitable for grading, so we'll deal with that. You know, I'll put it away. But I mean, like I said, I knew it had splits and such, but at least I thought it could get like a low grade.
Yeah, I think they, encapsulate it and just for the preservation of the note.
Yeah, but they also sometimes they don't want to handle things out of fear for damaging them. You know, and it's their name going on it, so you can't really blame them. But you've seen these before on my channel with my Fugazi I had, but this is how they come back to you. You know, they have the sticker already printed up. You know, they void it out and then they put the grade, which is NC, not suitable for grading, or like this Fugazi I got for free. You know, altered note. So my free Fugazi cost me like $37 to get graded, but you know what? It's a lesson learned. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know I shown the Fugazi I had, the other one, but this is what they come back as. You know, this one says it's an altered note, so someone must have bleached it out. But you know, to bleach out the district numbers, the 4 district numbers, there would be the 4 2s up there, and also the seal. You know, that's got to take up some of your time, but you know what?
Yeah, if somebody altered it, they went to a lot of work to alter it.
Yeah. So you know what? I mean, like I said, I got it for free, you know, because, you know, I bought some stuff And they were like, yeah, take that one too, whatever. And so, then the reason why they gave it to me, because, I was questioning if it was real or not. And he was like, you know what, just go ahead and take it. They were asking, I think, 20 for it. And, usually they give me a pretty good discount at my LCS. And they gave me the discounts, and on top of it, he was like, you just put it over there. I said, go ahead, So, I mean, this one here just calls me to get it graded to find out. Now, should I be evil and put it back into circulation is the question. And let someone else find it. What do you think?
I think I'd keep it just for the educational purpose.
Yeah, I think I will. I'll keep it with my Fugazi. But
I don't agree with that at all. But I'm new to this, so
yeah,
I'm
so,
learning every day.
Yeah, I understand, and I mean, I'm sure you can hear the disappointment in my voice. I mean, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's still a bison note. So.
That's right.
And no matter what condition it is, if I put it away when I die and I'm gone and my kids see it, I'm sure by then even the one in this condition is going to be worth a little bit.
Well, I think it's worth quite a bit right now, Rob. That you just don't see that many of the bison notes, and the ones you do see are very high priced.
Yeah, so it is what it is. We'll get that. I'll get that into a different holder and, put it away. Because I got these holders that Dan from Polar Currency was talking about. These things look like real graded holders, except there's nothing in them. I'm reaching over to grab one. And I think these were pretty cool, so I'm going to start putting my bills in these. And that way I can put them in the 2 slot holders I have with my other things. So.
Those are cool.
Looks like the bison will fit in there. But yeah, Dan from Polar Currency he even prints up little labels of his own. And I got to reach out to him and see if he has a template for him for Word that I can use. But overall, I'm disappointed with the bison note. And, I'm not surprised by the $1. I was kind of hoping it was real because, like I said, it is in the error book that they exist with the black inking error, insufficient ink for the black ink on the third press. But, all in all, I'm okay. But
wow. You mentioned your gold certificates.
Yeah, that gold certificate was pretty good.
Yeah, I had to get one too.
Yeah, I got my 10 and my 20. And I got the old $10 gold certificate with Secretary Pierce on it. But yeah, yours that's the one I got right there. Hang on, let me. Yep.
Well, that's the only gold certificate I have. But when I saw Big Apple, and I just think the gold on the back is amazing.
Yes,
yours is much better condition than mine, but
yeah, I mean but let me grab my, if I can reach
yeah.
it. And I mean, I actually got one and I had sent it off to be graded. So So I got a 30 on mine.
It, it amazes me. You compare your 30 to my 20, it's like night and day difference.
Well, I mean, I'm going to show you mine that's like yours.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Well, here's mine.
And there's a huge difference. Now, the back of yours is gorgeous.
Yes. Hello, the Irish Collector. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so that's Secretary Pierce. He was the first Secretary of the Treasury, if I'm correct.
Huh. That's a beautiful note, Rob.
Yeah, thank you. And hang on, I forgot to do one thing here. Yeah, I'm totally disorganized today. I apologize. If I could get y'all to go ahead and put your pound goal in again, I had forgotten to turn the tool on. So I'll be giving away a Grammy of, or not a Grammy, a grain of silver here in a few minutes. Let me get us back. Okay. So, while we're waiting for people to get their pound goal in again, I'm going to ask everyone, if you can, take a moment and check out my other channel. I just started another channel. It's just going to be dedicated to military type stuff, submarine stuff, gunfire, ships, aircraft, missiles, all kinds of warfare stuff. It's RNR military moments. If you look for the or let me type it in there, at RNR mil moments. So there's the easy way to find it, but if you want to check it out, I only got 3 videos up on it right now. But I'm going to be putting out content on it and hopefully growing that channel up too. Be happy to share with you the stuff I know about the military and that. Just looks more orange. Is it really golden? I believe they're more of an orange because mine's orange as well. But I mean, it's just a beautiful note all over.
Rob, I gotta say, I checked out your new channel this morning and watched the video on the submarine. And if you have any type of interest in the military or the Navy, check this out. It's going to be a lot of fun to see what you have to show us, Rob.
yeah, I'm hoping to, that I'm able to keep up and keep giving out good stuff. And, I'm going to try to do commentary videos with it, so make it a little more interesting. Okay, so it looks like we have 7 people entered. And we have 12 people here. If you're interested in to get a grain of silver, make sure you get gall in. I'm going to go ahead and throw a countdown up. Okay, thank you, Starika. I'm going to go ahead and run the countdown, and then we'll run the gall. Okay, so let's go ahead and run it. Oh dear. Send me a email. I'll get that out to you. Awesome.
Congrats, Ogre.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate y'all coming out today. And Jeff, I appreciate you jumping up here, helping, and sharing your collection.
It's my pleasure, Rob. I enjoyed it as always, and hope we can do it again sometime.
Be anytime. You're more than welcome to come up. But y'all have a great day. I want to thank you for joining the stream. If you haven't already, take a moment, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, you're not going to be chatting. So, but if you're hearing this and you're subscribed, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, keep you up to date, and tell a friend. Well, y'all have a great day, and everyone, and keep on stacking.
Thanks again, Rob. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
I can imagine no more rewarding a career. And any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction. I served in the United States Navy.